Hello and welcome to another book review. And today I want to talk to you about Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb, book 2 of the Farseer trilogy. I reviewed the first book, Assassin's Apprentice, a few weeks back, and I also compared two editions, the US hardcover, the illustrated edition, as well as the UK hardcover from Folio Society, and I figured I'll do that again with Royal Assassin, because why not? They're both beautiful books, but they're both very different books. Well, I mean, technically they're the same book, but you know what I mean. Different productions. So it's hard for me to talk about this without spoiling the first novel, so I'm going to use some kind of general vagaries when talking about it. First and foremost, Royal Assassin, wow. What an incredible novel. It is longer than the first one by several hundred pages, but it really hooks you in. It's actually one of those sequels. I mean, even though it is technically part of a trilogy, it doesn't suffer from that middle volume syndrome. You find, a lot of different trilogies where they're just kind of setting up the action of the third novel, and you kind of have a lull in the middle. That is not the case here at all. If anything, I actually think I preferred Royal Assassin to the first one, and I love the first one. What it does is it takes everything from the first novel and it builds upon that. So right here is just the end paper showing the six duchies, the world of the six duchies where the novel takes place. I will say I got both these novels through the signed page, so they are both signed by Robin Hobb, which is really cool. This one's even personalized. So the events of the first one ended with a failed political plot, a little failed assassination. And, Fitz is recovering from said failed assassination. Fitz Chivalry, the main character of the Farseer trilogy here, and beyond. There's the whole realm of the Elderlings, trilogies upon trilogies that Robin Hobb has created. He's the bastard son of Chivalry, King in Waiting, Prince Chivalry. And he is raised as the bastard son. He's raised as a royal assassin for the king, King Shrewd, within the land of the Six Duchies. He has access to the wit, which is a sort of, let's just call it beast magic. You're able to bond with animals. He's bonded with several dogs in the first novel. He also has access to the skill, which is the royal magic line, allowing people to connect to other people. And it takes upon all of these aspects and it builds upon them more. He had bonded with dogs in the first novel. Now he's bonding with Night Eyes, which is one of the best characters in the novel. This wolf that he rescues as a pup is fantastic. Oh my God. It builds upon his relationship with Molly, his little love interest from when he was a child. I mean, he's still very much a teenager. He's, I think, 18 in this novel, roughly 18. At least I hope he's 18. Otherwise, him having relations with Molly, even though she's around the same age, would be a little weirder. The first novel dealt with the Red Ship Raiders, a group of mysterious raiders who were attacking coastal cities, kidnapping individuals, and forging them is what they're referred to. It's basically taking the humanity away from them. They're just down to the primal instincts. And they are back with a vengeance in Royal Assassin. They are I don't want to say they're the primary thing, because there's a lot of behind the scenes political shenanigans going on. And don't take that as like modern politics. No, this is fantasy politics. But the Red Ship Raiders have a much more integral part of coming back in full force. The relationship, as I said, with Fitz and Molly is built upon the relationship with him and Ketrican, Queen Ketrican, who is Verity's wife. Even the Fool here comes back in a much bigger role than he had in Assassin's Apprentice. Like everything that was done well, and everything was done well in Assassin's Apprentice, and it's just taken to the next level in Royal Assassin. And I will say, just like I said with the first one, Robin Hobb is very skilled at writing dialogue and characters. I guess this could technically be a spoiler of a photo, but I mean, it doesn't really give you the spoiler aspect, so it's just a man holding a bloody knife. Like this is a very character-driven story. There is action. I mean, you have Fitz fighting with a good many individuals, mostly forged ones, or fighting off the Red Ship Raiders. But the action isn't described in a very actiony way, if that makes sense. It's the entire story. Oh man, this is not a spoiler either. I mean, it's you could take what you want from it, but what a beautiful scene. Wow. So the action isn't described in an actiony way. The entire story, just like the other novels, just like Assassin's Apprentice, and just like Assassin's Quest, which is what I'm currently reading, the third novel, are told in past tense. It's Fitz as an older man reflecting upon his life and telling the story of his life. And so because of that, the action isn't told like, a current quick action. It's told in a past tense. It's told of very matter-of-fact way. But she makes up for it with just some of the most intriguing and perfectly written characters I've ever read. So Magali Villeneuve did the illustrations in the U.S. hardcover. This is available anywhere you buy books. There's 10 full-color illustrations in that, as well as the end pages. There are 5 full-color illustrations by David Palumbo in the Folio Society edition. So here is that him reading Night Eyes, but from the dog's perspective, the wolf's perspective. He's not really a dog. He's in fact a wolf. But wow. Like I said, Robin Hobb has a knack where she can draw you in. And it's not an action-packed story the way it's told, and yet it is absolutely remarkable. You don't want to stop reading. It's like she could write about paint drying, and I would be on board. Like, it is superb, her writing style. There's them fighting the Raiders, the Red Ship Raiders. So the final act of the novel itself, like I said, there's a lot of political treachery going on behind the scenes, and it all comes to fruition in the final act. Here's Kettricken fighting off the Raiders. It all comes in the last 100 pages when it just goes off the rails, and holy crap, there is action in those last 100 pages. Let me tell you, it is like such a departure from the slow build that it's going up to. It's very much like the roller coaster where you're having the longest build to the top, and then bam, it hits you in those last 100 pages. Wow. It was superb. 5 stars alone for just that final act. Palumbo's artwork is gorgeous. There's the Pocked Man, also known as Chade, the assassin who's been teaching our young Fitz the ways of the assassin. So, talking about the editions themselves, if you were to buy a hardcover edition, I mean, you can buy a paperback version anywhere books are sold. You can get the U.S. hardcover edition for, I think cover price is $35, but you can always find books for cheaper than cover price. Believe it or not, there's actually still a few signed copies on the signed page. It's not going to be personalized like this one is, but you can get some copies. I think there were 4 of them left, signed by Robin Hobb, which is incredible. So you can go to the signed page and get a signed copy. Or if you do want the Folio Society edition, you can go to thefoliosociety.com. I will say I do prefer the Magali's art, both in terms of style. I mean, I love Palumbo's art. Palumbo's art is superb. But I love Magali's art, especially the fact that you're getting 10 pieces of full-color illustrations, which that is a little disappointing just because it's the same number of illustrations in both that you were getting in the first volume, in Assassin's Apprentice. You had 10 full-color in the U.S. version and 5 full-color Palumbo art pieces in the Folio edition. But obviously, both these titles are several hundred pages more than Assassin's Apprentice. And so, whereas the first volume seemed jam-packed with art because you're getting 10 full-color pieces over the course of less than 400 pages, now you're getting almost 700 pages with the same 10 spread out. Same can be said of Palumbo. You get 5 pieces spread out. As far as the actual construction of the books, there is without a doubt, no doubt, that the Folio Society edition is superior. And we're talking just kind of the case-bound edition here versus a beautiful cloth-bound, nice little stamping on the front with night eyes there. The page block is sewn in the Folio edition, whereas glued in the U.S. edition. And then even mind the fact that my pasty white skin leaves marks on the cloth. That does come off of the fiber, nice little microfiber cloth. And then even just the paper and the printing feels superior in the Folio edition. It's got larger margin sizes, but it does still have a larger trim size as well, which actually brings it in about 100 pages less, like 80 pages less than the U.S. edition. You were at 621 there, and I think we're just under 700 here. Yeah, 680, 690. So yeah, it's a larger trim size, larger margin size, but just a better quality overall. I mean, the quality is nothing to be laughed at with the U.S. version. As far as like U.S. trade editions go, this is pretty damn nice. I mean, it's got color printing throughout. I mean, it's got the borders on the actual chapters itself. It's got the full color art illustrations. Oh, there's one I missed. Full color illustrations. There's Verity fighting off the Red Ship Raiders. Skilling, using his skill. But as far as quality goes, there's no doubt about it. The Folio Society edition is superior. I mean, they're both great editions. You can't go wrong either way. Downside to the Folio Society edition is that it is only sold in the UK, so you have to buy it on the secondary market here in the States, or pay the price to actually ship it in. I mean, they are heavy books. They are only sold as the trilogy in the Folio Society, which, if you're gonna buy one, you should buy all 3. So that makes sense. But obviously they are heavier books, so the shipping might be a little pricey. But like I said, it's a little bit pricier than the U.S. edition, but the U.S. edition is still very, very nice. I'm currently reading Assassin's Quest, which is the 3rd volume, so I will do a review of that once that is complete. Once again, I will be comparing the U.S. Illustrated edition and the Folio edition, because I bought both. I mean, I bought the trilogy as a Folio edition through the signed page, and then I bought the individual hardcovers for the signed page as well. So please consider liking and subscribing to watch out for that. I got plenty of other unboxing videos on the channel as well to kill the time, and plenty to watch there, especially between here and there, where I'll be unboxing more books. So please consider liking and subscribing. Check out the signed page. Check out Robin Hobb. Seriously, if you want some incredible character-driven fantasy, you can't go wrong with the Farseer trilogy. I'm halfway through Assassin's Quest, and I'm absolutely loving it, just like I loved Assassin's Apprentice and Royal Assassin. It's just superb, and I can't wait to see where I go from there. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you around next time.